Okay, so here we are discussing about a development that is assigned to us, which is a basic program for which a technical specification document is handed over to you, and it will be having a CR number, the change request number, or RISFW number, either of these two, not both. So let us assume, let us take into consideration the right CR number. Let's say the CR number is something like 2019 and 050101. So basically each CR number will have some kind of decoding. For example, here the approach is 2019 is the year which I actually in which we have started, or it can be also be like this 19. So 19 in the sense the year 2019, and 05 is May, and in this 01 is the document number, and 01 is the change request number. So in this way we will be basically having a CR number, and after CR number it will be there like description, development of a report program to display header and item data. So this is what we have. Sales order header and item data is what we need to display. Sales order, or you can also write it something like that. Sales order detailed data. So for this, development of a report program to display sales order details data. Okay, for this what we'll have is this description will be there. After that we'll be having the different contents. We'll be having a contents of this entire document. What are the things that we have? So basically we'll have something like contents. Will have something like first one, contents. In the contents we will be having something like the description, and then we'll have all this description and all these things. So we'll be having contents, and then after this we'll have the selection screen. Each one will have its own page number. It's very simple. So we can have something like page number 05. It will start from page number 05, something like that, and the selection screen will be start with page number 10 or something like that. Okay, these are the contents that we have. After the entire contents is completed, then the description will actually start here, or say overview. So first one is overview. Overview will have the detailed basic description, like whatever we have here, the same thing will be there. Development of a report program to display sales order header and data. Detailed data from sales order header data, header table, item table, and material table. So material related table, material general table. Material general table is material general table. Then we have something like we'll have the technical description. Technical description is like program to extract below fields respective tables, something like that. So in this we will have VBAK. From VBAK table we need to extract VBLN, ERDAT, ERNAM, and from VBAP we're going to extract, say, VBEL, and again USNR, MATNR. So these are the fields, and from Mara table, MATNR, MATKL, and any other fields, few more other fields we can take. Okay, so we are restricting. So let us assume that this is the description that we have. So the technical description, in the technical description, remember, the functional description will tell you the description or the short description of the table name. Like for example, in the functional description, it will be like that: sales order header table. But when it comes to the functional, the technical specification, in the technical specification, the table name will be mentioned, the field names also will be mentioned. So the field names are VBEL and ERDAT ERNM, and VBAP we have VBL and POSN and MATNR, and MARA we have MATR or MATKL. So these are the fields that we have to take. So we need to display this requirement. This particular requirement happens to be a classical, basic classical report in which we need to have a single screen. There is no interactive screen here. So for this, we have to create a program, and we have to design, and we have to display it in the program. This is actually the thing. So for this, we'll be having the selection screen. So we need to mention what are the fields that we have in the selection screen. Also, we also have to mention the technical name. So in the functional description, it will be functional specification. It will be like this: selection screen with select options for sales order, sales order number, sales order header table. So this same thing happens to be when it comes to the same line. If it is written in the technical specification document, it will be something like that: selection screen with select options for VBAK-VBELN. Okay, and the technical name is select options S underscore VBELN for VBAK-VBELN. So this is what we have. So select options. So here in the functional specification, it was more of like the simple basic English. But here when it comes to the technical specification, so I'm discussing both the things. So in the functional specification, it will be written like this, but in the technical specification, it will be written like this: select options S underscore VBLN for VBAK-VBLN. Now here it becomes very clear from which table we have to take it, what is the reference field that we have to take. Everything will be very pretty clear in the select options. So this is what we can do. Now here, after this, we'll be writing what are the validations that we need to do. Any validations we need to mention, and messages, that is status update, or we can also mention it something like status updates or error messages, whatever it might be. So we can update that, and then we have final is like output. What should be the output? And these are things that we have. And if at all in output also we have black box testing and white box testing. Like if you give the right values, you should give the output, or if you give wrong values, it should give you the message. So these are the different things that we'll have in the technical specification. Remember, the technical specification will be minimum of somewhere around 20 to 40 pages. So we are just discussing the basics, very basics. So going forward, for future sessions and for future projects, we'll be discussing more in detail about the in-depth about the technical specification. We'll keep on complicating the technical specification, and we'll come to the near to real time technical specification in the coming projects. Okay, so let's start with this development. Okay, so here we'll also be writing a pseudocode within the validations and all. We'll also write the pseudocode. Pseudocode will give you the entire code. Basically, the pseudocode will take into consideration all the fields, and we'll write the logic also. So a pseudocode will have the logic as well. So let me write the logic here. Assuming that the internal table and work area are already been defined, sometimes what will happen is in some clients they will insist you to write the entire program in the pseudocode. And what does the pseudocode have? The pseudocode will have the entire code which we want to mention in the program. Okay, so pseudocode will write the entire logic here. So like here we'll write select a tilt, or let me first write VBAK tilt VBLN VBAK tilt ERDAT VBAK tilt ERNAM VBAP tilt PUSNR VBAP tilt MATNR MARA tilt MATKL from into table IT underscore SCL VBAK inner join VBAP on VBAK tilt VBLN equal to VBAP tilt VBLN. Okay. Next, what we have is then we'll write inner join MARA VBAP tilt VBLN equal to MARA tilt. Oh, sorry. Here you have VBLN tilt MATNR equal to MARA tilt MATNR, where VBLN in, so that's VBAK tilt VBLN in S underscore VBLN. Now this is a pseudocode that we are going to mention in the technical specification. Whoever is developing the technical specification document needs to write this pseudocode in the technical specification. This is something which we need to show to the team lead or consultant or whoever it may be. And now once it's been done, they will go through this code and they will suggest you if there are any requirements. Now here in some companies, what I'm trying to tell you is, in some companies pseudocode will be short. In some companies they insist you to write the detailed pseudocode. Detailed pseudocode, what I mean by detailed pseudocode is, if you have made use of IT underscore SCL, in the pseudocode I have not mentioned where the IT underscore SCL is been defined and what are the fields in that. So some people say, okay, you come back with that one as well. So there will be some communication between you and the team lead, project lead, or the client. The client normally approves the functional specification. We internally create a technical specification, and that also we'll be sending it for approval to project lead or to the client sometimes. So once the client approves that, then it would be like, we can go ahead and we can do the development. So here also, before the contents, immediately after the content, whoever are the approvers, like what are the approvers, the box will be there wherein who is the owner of this technical specification, who has approved this, what is the version of it, these all things will be mentioned, which will slowly come back to that. But one thing that you need to remember is pseudocode will be there, which will have the entire code sometimes or the main logic. So let's go back and start developing it now. Now here we'll be mentioning line size, line count. Line count is something like 28 and of 5. I'll explain you the significance of line count. Then we have the line size. Line size 120, and then message ID ZJH. Okay, so ZJH1. So you can create or ZJH underscore MSG. Now we have not created this message I class, so we can create a message class here. We can create a message class and then update that here, or just double click on this. Say yes. So it'll take you to the message class here. So in the message class, you can just go ahead with the message class, and you can maintain some description. So yes. Okay. So for 001, I'll just write something like no data for the selection. For this range of values, something like that. So you can update anything that you want here. The messages, you can update anything. After that, we'll have something like no standard page heading. No standard page heading. These are the 4 different things that we can mention in the report program. And before that, what we can mention is in the description here. Here, normally what we do is we enter the description. Display, sales order, header, okay, sales order, header. We can go give more description also for the program, for the requirement. Now what we can do is we can also write something like this description, and after this we can write something like that's a description, and then we can go ahead with something like the username. The username is best, but in the real time it will be like my username is V Maduri. This is my username. So and then date of creation. These all will be there, but different companies will have different standards. They maintain all these things. They maintain the version, they maintain the date of creation and DOC. I mean, they'll sometimes you have to write the detailed thing. So you can just say 28/05/2019, something like that. Okay. So in this way, we have a lot of things to be written, and we'll also write something like what do you call the transport request. Which transport request is it saved under? Transport request. So we'll mention the transport request also here. So the transport request here would be the one which we actually been saved it now. So let's check the transport request. Let's go to SE09. In the SE09, we'll have something like transport request. These are customizing requests. Customizing requests are basically for the functional people. Let's go for workbench requests. Workbench requests are specific to the technical people. So workbench requests will have all these requests. So what was the request under which we saved it? New request per. So this is the request number. So let's copy the request number here. We'll be mentioning the request number here. Okay. So in this way, we'll be having a lot of details based on the client specifications and the standards that we maintain across the project. We have to maintain that. Now after this, we'll be declaring the tables. The first thing that we'll be declaring is, if we have the type pools or tables, we'll be declaring that. So how do we do that is, tables. So this is one coding standard that we're normally following now. So tables, then we'll have the type declarations. We have internal tables and work area, and then we have the selection screen. Okay, so let's start with this one. Tables is fine. Here we are going to declare the structures. Okay, so you can also write on across entire. If we use a format, we need to use the same format across the entire program. So if we say tables here, and then we have this as internal tables and work area. Sometimes we'll have a separate subheading for work area as well. Since we have only one internal table and one work area, I'm writing both at the same place. And then we'll have the selection screen. Okay, after this we'll have something like initialization event. Okay, and then after that we have the at selection screen event. Then we'll have the startup selection. End of selection. Top of page. End of page. Then yeah, if there are any subroutines. Okay, now here let's take into consideration something like, we'll be declaring type declaration here. So in this tables, okay, so if you want to declare the tables, you can declare in the same program, or we can declare it in the include program. So if you are declaring in the include program, and if you want to keep it separately, that's a different story. But normally what we do is in the top include, if you are giving the top include, all these declaration parts that we have till here will be taken care by the in the top include. But here, since we are mentioning it here, for this particular program, let's go ahead and write the entire code in the same editor screen only. But later point of time, we'll develop it in the include programs as well. So here we'll be declaring something like tables, VBAK, VBAP, MAR. And normally how we do is we write it like this. And we also mention the name of it. Or if at all, if you have any confusion in this, what you can do is simply, okay, the simple way is double click on VBAK, say yes, you copy the description from there, copy the description from here, go back, and then you just write it here. Then we have, okay, it will be same thing like this, item data. General material data. General material data. So now these are the things that we have here. Sales document header data, sales document item data, and MARA general material data. So these are the tables that we are declaring here. Actually, in fact, in this program, we did not mention all the tables. If you mention single table VB equals is enough. But in the general practice that we do it like this. Now here we'll go for the declaration. We'll be writing like this. It types begin of st underscore sale end of st underscore sal. Now here we normally declare it like this. For sales data from VBAK, DBAP, Mara. After this we have VBLN, type VBLN underscore VA, ERDAT, type ERDAT, ERNAM, type ERNAM, PYSNR, type PYSNR, MATNR, type MATNR, MATKL, type MATKL. Now this is a structure. Now in the structure we can also type again the field names. It's optional, like in some projects they make it mandatory and you need to follow this standard. So what we do is we just have to copy this sales document number, ERDAT, date on which the record was created, then we have this ERN name, so these things happen to be very important in some projects. In some projects it's okay, so later we can copy this one also. Okay, let me finish off this, which will become perfect. USNR, you can just copy this, whatever the reason for this development is been mentioned in the specification, that will be also mentioned here. These are the fields that we have here, and then we'll go for, if you have multiple number of structures we can declare it here. We have this data IT underscore SEL type, standard table of ST underscore SEL. And since we also said and work area, let us declare the work area also here. Otherwise, like what we'll do is we'll declare work area later. Type ST underscore STL. Now declaration, selection screen. Selection screen. Begin of block P1 with frame title B1. Title text -001. Okay, so we are writing a block here. End of block P1. Here begin of, and then we have end of. This is all not required here. And here we'll go for select options, underscore VBLN for VBK and VBLN. Okay, so now this is what we have. Now let us maintain the text for this. So I'll show you what would happen if we create a selection screen block. So a block will be appearing here. So once it's been done, execute, and you'll not get anything further because we have not written any logic here. So you can see here you write you got the heading as sales order header data. So normally what happens is I'll show you what will happen if you don't write this no standard page heading. See if I keep a full stop here and I'll comment this no standard page heading. Let me activate this. Now here we have, okay, so if you see here there'll be something like ZGH underscore SEL project. Okay, yeah, actually it's been fixed. In the previous version, if you see, I'll show you the previous version, Marriage. If you don't write no standard page heading, that heading that we have here in the attributes, whatever heading is there in the attributes, this one, the title, will be shown twice. Okay, that's the reason we used to write this. Even though if you don't write it, it's okay now. And line size and line count is what I'll explain you now. Okay, so coming to this, so now the block, if you write this as a block, then a block appears here. If you see here, there's a block here. It's a square, and then you can also move it down as well. Okay, I'll show you that. So basically, the various possibilities. But let me first execute the main program, and then I'll show you that. So we have the selection screen here, and if at all, if you want to do some initialization of any values, then we'll be writing initialization event here. Initialization is the first event that we mentioned here in the program. Initialization, and in this we'll be writing something like s underscore vbln hyphen low is equals to something like 1000, and s underscore vbln hyphen high is equals to 5000. vbln hyphen sign is equals to high. So we'll have 4 things here. Option is equals to bt. Now these are the things. After writing this, it's mandatory for us to do the append. Basically, the system, in the system, this s underscore vbln by default is created as an internal table. Append s underscore vbln. Now when we execute this, we'll see this 1000 and 5000 by default. And if at all, if you want to get one more range that you want to update here, what you can do is you can go ahead and do that one as well here. $8,000, $9,000. So including or excluding. Including and excluding means, see, basically including means this 8,000 and 9,000 also will be included. If you say excluding, it will start from 8,001 to 9,001. BT, in the place of BT we can write equal to EQ. We can write not equal to, less than, greater than, less than or equal to, greater than or equal to, or BT, between, not between, NB. So these are the various possibilities that we have. This, so equal to, not equal to, lower than, greater than, lesser than or equal to, greater than or equal to, between and not between. These are the options that we have. And did I forget anything? Okay, so these are the options that we can use here. And after this, like here instead of BT, you can also say something like not between, NB. You should write in capital letters, not between. You can also write like that. Save it. Syntax check, activate, execute. Now here you can see the green color. Green color represents that some other additional selections are there in this. Click on that. And here select ranges. One range is included. In exclude ranges, another range is excluded. This is what we have. So this is what we have here. And after this, we have various options. So I'll just comment this second initialization. Then we'll go for at selection screen. In at selection screen, we can use a lot of options that we're going to add it up later. So first, let me give you a simple example of an at selection screen that we have here. So we'll go for at selection screen. So in this, we'll write something like if s underscore vtln hyphen low is less than 500, message E002 ending. Okay, so I didn't maintain the 002. Let me double click on this 002. E represents error message, right? So please enter a value greater than 500. Greater than 500. So once it's been back, so this should be populated whenever we have this panel. Let us check that. So we have actually given a message there, and let's assume that I have given this 400. So I give it as 400 and say enter. It should throw an error. So it is throwing an error. Please enter a value greater than 500. This is what is happening here. So this is what is happening. So please enter a value greater than 500. Now let's, if at all, if we really maintain a value greater than 500, then there will not be an issue. That also we'll see. Okay, so it doesn't execute because we have not written the select statement, but that message doesn't get populated. So that doesn't get populated. So if at all, if you want to do some validations on the screen level, we can do it in that selection screen. We'll explore more options here in this, and then we'll write the startup selection. And in the startup selection, we'll write the select statement, right? So the select statement will be the same as the pseudocode that we have written now. So this is a pseudocode which we need to copy and paste. Now once it's been done, so if they are not in order, just click on this pretty printer. Automatically everything will come into order actually. So, okay, it will not come. Pretty printer is very useful for us. Most of the people are unaware of that. Even in the real time, a lot of people are unaware of the pretty printer option here that we have. Let me show you that. Now the client requirement is that the entire program, the standard command should be in capital letters, and the user defined variables should be in lowercase letters, as it is there in the right now in the program. This is how it should be. Then you can do it. And next thing is, if at all, if you go for if you want to go for something like okay, let's assume that this is the client requirement. The client requirement is all the user commands should be in lowercase, and the variables should be in capital letters. Okay, then what will happen is, like, we go for utilities, settings. In the settings, you'll have pretty printer. In the pretty printer, we need to select, like, keyword should be lowercase, the rest of the things will be uppercase. Say okay. I've changed it, and activate the program and click on pretty printer now, and it will change exactly the opposite. Now all the system commands are in lowercase and user defined variables are in uppercase. So in most of the programs, most of the coding standards, it will be like the reverse of it. I mean to say, this type should be in capital letters, begin of also should be in capital letters, and the structure should be in lowercase. That is how it should be. So let's go for that. Settings, pretty printer. In this, we'll go for keywords uppercase. Say okay. Activate. So once it's been done, execute this, and we'll not get the output anyways, because we have not written the loop statement now. Now we have to write the loop statement at the end of selection. So let's write the end of selection event. So I will be, once we complete the project, we have a lot of things to discuss. Like you can also discuss. We can also discuss what are the issues that we have. Loop at it underscore SCL into WA underscore SCL and loop. So here we say write WA underscore SCL hyphen VBLN ERDAT ERNM USNR MATNR MATKL. Now we will get the output. So you'll get the output. You can also design the screen heading and all these things we can design. We'll do that. We'll design the heading and all. Okay, so this is what we have done. Now, what if we give some value for which there are no records? For example, I give some 999, and here also I give something like 9999, and I say for this, let's say there is no records. Okay, records are there. So let's say I've given some input for which there are no records. Then system should populate a message that there are no records for this input. It's very important, because the end users will not be able to know if it doesn't give any message, doesn't give any update from the system. So the end users cannot understand what's happening. So we need to write a logic here in such a way that if there is no data for given range, then it should populate a message. Okay, let's populate a message here. So let's say if size sub RC not equal to 0, Henry. Remember, size about the value will always be 0 when the immediately above statement is successful. So the immediately above statement is select statement. This entire thing is single statement, right? So this entire single statement, if it is successful, size about the value will be equal to 0. Since it's not equal to 0, it means that we have some other number. So message E003. Double click on this, or you can also get, we already used E, right? We'll use A. Double click on this, say yes, yes, and no data for this selection. No data for this selection. Just say save and back. Once it's been done, activate this. Okay, this is active. So we'll activate this one as well. Now execute, and if I give this value as 9999, let's execute this. It says no data for this selection. There's no data for this selection. Means that this is happening because there is no data for this selection. So end users will get to know that okay, whatever input I give is there is no data for that, and I have to look for some other data, inputs. Okay, so fine. One second. We'll get into the program now, and we'll again modify and add logic for that.
Aditya. Hello.
Let's go to SC80. It will be easy to.
Hello. Hello.
Yeah, can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you. Could you just explain the add selection screen event, because my connection was a little lost at that time.
Sure. At selection screen, I didn't all the options there. We have just used a single option there, a basic at selection screen. So once we have done with this project, in this project only, I am going to add all the possibilities, all the options that we have for at selection screen. Okay, so we have used a basic, a very simple at selection screen. Basic, very simple at selection screen, in which we have used a very simple logic wherein we are saying in that selection screen, if the low value of the select options is less than 500, then a message should get populated saying that this should be more than 500. So I'm just giving a basic, very simple example. So we'll take some more examples and create some more at selection screen options that we have. Okay, so this is a very simple thing. And in case based on this logic that we have written here, whenever we give a value less than 500 here, automatically that error gets populated here. So I'll give 400, so that error gets populated here. This is what we did. Okay, the selection screen, we have used the select statement, and later we can also use the alias names for this. So I'll come back to that alias names as well. Okay, so here the top of page. So right, is the data. Now here whatever we write in the top of page will come on the top, and end of page right, page number sy hyphen pagno, what we have, end of page. So that's it. Now here once it's been done, page number and sy pagno, execute. So now once we get the output, here you can see that page number 1. So if we scroll down, page number 2, page number 3, page number 4, page number 5. So in this way we'll get the page numbers, and at the last page you will not get it because the page number is not completed. So for that we need to handle it in the in the control break events, which I'll explain you. So now here SYPAGN. Now let's assume that we have not written this line count. If you don't give the line count here, this line count, if you comment, you will not get the end of page. Let me comment that line count and execute this and show it to you. Now if you can see, end of page is not typed at all because system does not know where to end the page, so we have to have some end of the page, so where the page has to end. For that, what are we doing here is we actually are writing this logic here saying that we need to have 28 lines. So 28 lines makes a page, and five lines we need to give it as empty space. Okay, empty space. So here we can give something like, here instead of 28 we can give 32 and activate. We can execute, and 32 means it will increase the size, and page 2, page 3, page 4, it's perfect now. It's perfect now, right? Okay, so this is what we have now. This is what we have here. So okay, now since we need to type the end of page, for that we are going ahead and using this end of page option here, the line count option here. If you don't give the line count, the end of page will not appear there, and top of page. And we have used SYPAGNO wherein it will type the page number. Then we have also the end of page, and in the end of selection we can also write the headings. We can maintain the headings there for the for whatever data that we have here. And one thing is, like, in the entire project, the entire program, we need to write the startup selection here. in fact, like wherever the system reads select statement, automatically it will trigger the startup selection. Even if you don't mention the startup selection, it will trigger the startup selection. If you maintain, if you give it as if you just enter select, if you are typing select statement, automatically it will take it as a start. It will take it as a part of startup selection. So now here, then why do we have to mention startup selection? Is if at all, if you mention any other events here, like initialization is there. After starting the initialization, we are never ending the initialization. End of initialization is not there. So when the initialization will end, when the new event starts, that is the add selection screen starts. Now when add selection screen will end, when new event startup selection add starts. When startup selection will end, when end of selection will start. When end of selection will end, when top of page will start. So this is how it is. So for that, if at all, if you have mentioned any events in the past, then it is mandatory for us to mention the startup selection here. Otherwise, there is no need to mention the startup selection. So this is the data that we have, and in this, like we would be mentioning the text, just like yesterday we have done in the project. We have designed the text. So we will write, before this loop we'll write the text, and the text will be coming as a top of page, I mean the headings. It will come as a headings in the output. So that also we can give, and then we can
where we can write the text elements, like in startup selection only.
no, we can write it in the end of selection or in the top of page.
In the top of page also we can write.
Yeah, if you write in the top of page, what will happen is, if you write in the end of selection, it will be coming only once. If you write in the end of,
Yes.
it will write only once here, that's it. But if you write it in the top of page, in every page that will appear, that
Yes.
thing will appear. So let us now, after this write statement, you can write this write text hyphen text. Okay. So VBLN is for sales order num, and the length for this is 10. ERDAT length is 8. ERNAM length is 12. PVSNR length is 6. MATNR length is 18. MATK length is 9. Let's do that now. So we'll go ahead with the text. This is 10 actually. And then 002, we'll write it as something like created on. This should be 10 actually. Take this 10. Because in the output it is 003. That's like ERNAM. It's created by was something like 12.
12.
Then we have 004, that is POSNR. POSNR happens to be the name of that POSNR is it will be like sales group, something will be there. Short description is item number document. Item number
6.
6. Okay. 005. Then will be
Material number
material number
18.
18. And 006 material group.
Group 9.
So activate. So once it's active, say yes. And once it's been done, we just need to activate this. Execute. So you get this heading. Say Jade Softic. And okay. Okay, so it's not taking it as a content. It's taking it. Okay, let me do it like this. Okay, so in the top of page, text is not working. So you need to give that as the hard-coded values is what you need to give.
No, I think we haven't activated the text elements.
Oh, okay. Yeah, so we just execute this. Oh, I didn't activate the program now. I just need to activate the program and then we'll do that. Because I can end this session and so once I okay, let us activate this one. Let's activate the program. Okay, so it's coming in the same line. Here also slash. Here also slash. Now if you see sales order number created on all these things are coming, and material number. So material number should start. Okay, it's starting right. Everything is starting perfectly, but you don't have this boxes. So for that boxes, you can type boxes here. You can build boxes. Skip one. And write sy hyphen u line And here also we can write SY-U line.
I think we can take uline directly, Aditya.
But in that, what will I'll explain you why I'm not taking that. So here we have this. So we have the line from here to here. Okay, let us say we want the line only till here. Okay, increase the size. We'll give the length here as something like, say, 80. We can add the values, all the values, and then we can calculate what is the maximum length. We can do it as well. So it will stop till here. Okay, 80, but we want it 1 1 2 3 4 5 6 6. We have to reduce 6. So 6, if we reduce, it will be like 74. Same thing here, we'll write 74. So we want to give it as only 74. So we have got exactly here. So here we can get some V line. So what we can type is, here we'll type V line here. So we get a V line now, and since we have written this as like skip 2, that's the reason it is coming here. Let's not write that skip 2 here. Or maybe we can put the skip 2 later. Okay, so here we can also extend this till here, and then we can also draw the same boxes here as well. And this is the V line. So here the V lines have come, and we need to also increase the U line as well. We'll draw the U line. So here let us increase the size to 78. So 78. No, still to increase. We'll increase this to 82. 82. 83. One more. Mm, 84. One. Okay, this is complete. The heading is completed, but for the item data also we can keep this skip. So before this loop statement, give this SYU line, or we can keep this SYU line in the end of page actually. Okay, and here it's already been there. Skip one also, we can avoid this, and then I guess it works. So basically this is the data that we have. So we are drawing the lines. Actually these things we used to do in very old days, like we don't have to worry about all these things, because right now we are developing the we are developing all the ALV reports. So here we can also write this in different colors. Here whatever we have here, color 1, color 2, three, color 6. We have one more color. Totally 7 colors are allowed. So we'll get the colors like this. So anything for the heading, we'll put the color 7. Keep the color 7. Color 7 would be. So totally there will be 7 colors that are allowed. We can keep the color.
Aditya, for heading, keep the color in the foreground. Means it should not be background. The letters should be get color.
That possibility I will explain you that later. Okay, that possibility will come. We'll get it in that. So the font cannot be changed here in the classical reports. Okay, classical reports, the font is of a standard color. Okay, so yeah, that we can do it, but how we'll do it I'll tell you. So this colors, as of now, this is the background colors that we have. These are the 7 background colors that have been allowed in the classical reports. Coming to the ALV reports, again we'll have different options, different possibilities there. Okay, so this is about the colors. Okay, now here we can also, yeah, these are the things that we have. And at selection screen we will be using various possibilities in that selection screen, and we'll also have parameters as well, and we'll also have something called radio buttons and checkboxes also as well. So we can make use of checkboxes, we can make use of radio buttons, we can make use of parameters in the selection screen. So we can just simply write something like parameters underscore something like uh, ERNAM, type VBAK hyphen ERNAM. So you'll get this. Actually, you will get this option, like a single option. Okay, that's for ERNAM for the parameters. So we'll discuss different options that we have in parameters, and then we'll have something like LP1. G1, RB2, radio button group G1. Then we have parameters. We have checkbox CB1, as checkbox. So you can have this like this. So there are various possibilities that we can do here in the selection screen, which we are going to discuss in that tomorrow's session. So we have CB2. Now what happens here is, like, if you see in the radio buttons, it is mandatory that we have to give at least 2 radio buttons. If you give a single radio button, systems will throw an error, because radio buttons are basically used for options. So if you can select this one, this option, or this option. If I select this option will be unselected. If I select this option, that option is unselected, because they are both are from the same group. But checkboxes are not like that. You can checkbox only one or two or any one of them. So it's up to you. So this is the thing that we have. So these are the possibilities that we have in the program. Okay. So
Okay.
so
What is the difference between parameters and select options?
yeah, parameters are for single option, for single value input. Select options will be for the range.
Can we make select options as obligatory?
Yeah, this is an interview question actually. We'll do that. We can do that. So I'll discuss all the options that we have within the select options and parameters. Okay, and
Okay.
the questions which will be asked related to this program or related to this select options also we'll discuss tomorrow. Okay.
And you can stop the recording now.